high-res onboard screens, CDJ-style jog wheels, and DJM-style mixer effects. What is up, you guys? It's Joey for Digital DJ Tips, and we're taking a look at what could be the closest thing to a CDJ or DJM setup ever found on a DJ controller. This is our review of the Pioneer DDJ-1000 for Rekordbox DJ. Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends so we can keep on making more great stuff like this. Now, before we dive into the jogs, displays, and effects, let's do an overview of the controller. The DDJ-1000 is a controller for Rekordbox DJ. You need to connect it to your laptop in order to spin with it. This is not an all-in-one system like the XDJ RX2. It has a standalone 4-channel mixer with trim pots, 3-band EQs, color effects knobs, and an assignable Magvel crossfader. It's got 2 decks, and each deck has a jog wheel with a built-in display, performance pads, a pitch control, transfer controls, deck select buttons for switching to decks 3 and 4, and loop control buttons that are similar to what you'd find on a CDJ. Now, you're probably thinking, why aren't there any effects controls for Rekordbox DJ's effects? Well, you've got pad effects mode in the performance pads, but more than that, it's because the DDJ-1000 already has 2 built-in hardware effects on board: sound color effects and beat effects, which is exactly what you'd find on a modern DJM club mixer. The rear of the unit has XLR and RCA master outs, 1/4-inch booth outs, 4 RCA inputs, with 2 of them being switchable line or phono for turntables, and 2 mic inputs. It's also got a power jack, power button, and twin USB sockets for connecting up to 2 laptops for DJ switchovers. The front of the unit has 1/4-inch and 1/8-inch headphone outputs. Alright, cool. Now let's dig into the good stuff, starting with the jog wheels. The jogs on the DDJ-1000 are full-size and mechanical, like what you'd expect on a standard CDJ, and they feel more solid than what you'd find on, say, the XDJ-1000. They really do feel similar to a CDJ-2000 Nexus 2 thanks to its mechanical nature and the addition of jog adjust controls. They have got to be some of the best that Pioneer DJ has put out and are easily my favorite jog wheels at the moment on any Pioneer DJ controller. And that's a lot considering that I was never really a fan of the mechanical jog wheels. I just prefer the tight feel of touch-sensitive, full-size jogs like those found on the DDJ-RZ and DDJ-RZX. But these jogs on the DDJ-1000 are making me change my mind big time. They're responsive, plus the jog wheel adjust controls let you set how loose or tight you want them to be. The jogs also have looping controls similar to what you'd find on a CDJ, which makes it easier for you to make the jump from using a DJ controller to spinning with CDJs at the club, at least from a looping standpoint. The quality jog wheels and jog adjust controls are pretty surprising considering that this controller comes in at under $1,200. That's practically unheard of in a Pioneer DJ controller. The DDJ-RZ, for example, sets you back $2,400, and you're basically getting better jog wheels on the DDJ-1000 compared to those found on the DDJ-RZ. Imagine that. The jog wheels have displays in the middle and they're absolutely stunning. Not iPhone X or Samsung S9 stunning, but they look amazing, especially for Pioneer DJ gear. I was a bit skeptical at first, thinking they'd be like, I don't know, a low frame rate screen found on, say, the CDJ-2000 Nexus 2, but man, they're certainly a generation apart from the screens found on Pioneer DJ's current line of media players. They're high-res, have a high frame rate, and they feel like you're working with a screen that's built for today's DJs. And we're already used to looking at high-quality screens thanks to our smartphones, right? The display shows the album art, tempo, waveform, and time. It also shows a phase meter that has an indicator for every 4 bars, which is kind of cool because when it comes to dance music, important developments in a tune happen after counting 4 bars. So basically, Pioneer DJ just made it a lot easier for you to tell where you are in a 4-bar section thanks to this phase meter. You also got 2 ways of viewing your position. First is via a playhead that goes from left to right in the track's waveform, and second is via a bar that goes around the display, kind of like a clock's hand. Now, I have 2 minor gripes about the jog wheel displays. The waveform is quite small and condensed on screen, so if you want to do some detailed cueing, you'll probably still want to look at your laptop screen. It would have been nice if you could zoom in on the waveform to make those precise movements. Also, you can't browse your library using the jog displays. Again, you'll still have to look at your laptop. Despite these, I still really like the jog wheel displays. Granted, I'll still be looking at my laptop from time to time, but I'm not really that bothered. You've just got to see these screens to really appreciate them. They're fantastic, especially at this price point, and I can imagine many DJs are thirsting for this controller just because of those screens. Alright, now let's talk about the effects here. You've got 4 sound color effects taken from the DJM900 Nexus 2. There's also a beat effects section, which is the first time beat effects have ever been featured on a Pioneer DJ controller because they're just found on mixers. You can select any one of the 14 beat effects via the rotary switch in the beat effects section, and you can view which one you've selected via the beat effects OLED display. You've got low cut echo, delay, spiral, reverb, transformer, enigma jet, flanger, phaser, pitch, slip roll, and 2 Mobius effects. Now, the effects sound good, but more importantly, they work exactly the way you'd use effects when you're spinning at the club with a DJM mixer. That means that you can practice using those effects at home while you're spinning with your controller, which is sometimes confusing for newer club and bar DJs who haven't really spent much time mixing with a CDJ and DJM setup. It basically gives you more confidence to step up and use the beat effects during gigs because you can get very expressive using these compared to just isolating yourself to the sound color effects, which are relatively easy to use. The DDJ-1000 has 8 performance pads per deck with 8 pad modes: Hot Cue, Pad Effects 1, Beat Jump, Sampler, Keyboard, Pad Effects 2, Beat Loop, and Key Shift. The latter 4 pad modes are accessible via a shift layer. The pads themselves are smaller than what you'd find on the DDJ-RZ or DDJ-RZX and are closer to the size of the ones found on the DDJ-RX. They're springy and responsive and are built to be used and abused, which is great because having the keyboard pad mode on board means that you can play melodic cue juggles on them, kind of like what you'd be able to do on the DDJ-XP1 pad controller. The DDJ-1000 is an important controller for Pioneer DJ because it represents a leap in the way that the company produces DJ gear. It releases gear often, but usually they're just minor updates of its previous controllers. Maybe a new silkscreen, a few new buttons here and there, but nothing that makes a massive difference in the way that the controller works. That's not entirely the case with the DDJ-1000. Sure, it may look like a souped-up DDJ-RX, but there's so much going on in this controller that makes it a much better device built for the demands of the modern digital DJ. What you're getting is easily the most powerful and advanced DJ controller that Pioneer DJ has made for its Rekordbox DJ software, and one that could very much be at the peak of its current technological powers. It's hard to think of what other innovation Pioneer DJ could add to this device moving forward without introducing maybe a paradigm shift in what DJing is or what DJ controllers should have on board. The only drawbacks are the waveform display and the lack of library browse. Being able to zoom in on your waveforms would have been a nice to have, along with the ability to just view your tracks and playlists via the jog display. Again, you'll probably still want your laptop to be somewhere near you in the DJ booth for these reasons, but I did find myself staring a lot less at my laptop screen because of the jog displays. This is far and away the best controller Pioneer DJ has put out in recent years, and honestly, I can't think of a better device for professional gigging laptop DJs. The closest thing to it I can think of is the Numark NS6 II for Serato DJ Pro, but then you're not getting the same CDJ style jogs and DJM style mixer effects. It's kind of like Pioneer DJ finally decided to graft a huge chunk of its club standard DNA over onto DJ controllers, and the result is a fantastic hybrid of all the things you'd expect in a modern laptop DJ controller. So that's it for this talk-through video of the DDJ-1000 from Pioneer DJ. I've got the full review over at the Digital DJ Tips site. The link is in the description box below. Hit the thumbs up icon and please share this with your friends as well as your online enemies. My name is Joey. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.